Howdy, folks. Welcome back. I hope you're doing well and staying safe. I wanted to talk about the new Hampshire, HMS Hampshire. She's a premium Tier 8 heavy cruiser developed by the British. Well, she's actually based on the Surrey class of heavy cruisers from World War II. She was going to be a further extension of that, but it never got built, so it's technically a paper ship. So, what's really to talk about the boat? First of all, I do like it. It's a good boat, good cruiser. She only has AP. I wish it had HE. The guns are 203, but as always, I'll get into the detail of it. You have to give I would say the one that she's got two disadvantages, and the last one I'll tell you when I get to the conclusion. But the first one is you got to almost give broadside to get the back guns to angles. So you got to be very careful about that. Her ruddership is pretty good. Her main feature, which I'll get to in the more details, her concealment with the captain skills and whatnot, you can get it down to 9.7 kilometers, which is basically Leander type size type thing at tier 6. So I'm gonna say that's fantastic. That's one of the main strengths she has. Torpedoes are really decent. They're fast and they do well. But overall, I like the boat, but she has one serious weakness, which I'll get to in a bit here. So why don't we take the time and we'll drop in and we'll look at how the boat's built. So let's jump into it. First of all, I think the art department does a great job. The difference between the Surrey and Hampshire classers, she's got an extra turret up front, so an extra four barrels of 203. So in this case, she's got 10. Here's my economics. I am trying to get some stuff. I'm kind of padding this out because of one of her weaknesses. I'll explain later. I do get a lot of economic bonuses for playing her. Armor layout. She's got 25 mil here and 27 on the side. So basically, she could be penetrated by 355, 57 millimeter and up. Got to be very, very careful when in doing this. She does have one neat thing here. If I just take that off, her citadel's below the water line, which looks good on paper, so to speak, but it's only protected by a 27 millimeter. So when you get in the higher tiers, 9 and 10, especially super ships, I'll get to in a bit, yeah, it's brutal. Survivability 41.2, 7% protection for torpedoes, not that great. Here's her strength, 203s, 10.5 second reload. I've got mine down to just under 20 seconds for turret traverse, and it does quite well. She's got a 16.8 kilometer range on them. Secondaries are 2.8 seconds and 7.3 kilometers. Nothing to write home about, but they're good for DDs, and like I said, 16.8 kilometers. Torpedoes, two quad launchers each side. And they do 10K of range and 60 some odd knots. So they are fast and they are quite good. I'll get into airstrikes and a defensive a bit later, but you get two attacks with each of the drops right against submarines. Speed 31.5 the flag and 9.86 on the rudder, which is not bad. So detectability at sea, like I said earlier, 9.6, which is fantastic. That periscope depth, you're going to be detected at 6.1 kilometers. And detectability from main guns and shells, detectability in the ships and smoke. Pretty straightforward. Let's go into equipment. And you know me, straight up, I always take main armor modification 1. I took the hydro upgrade because I want my hydro as much as possible with torpedoes. I took main systems modification. The reason being is she's not a battle cruiser you can go up and shoot people. I could have taken the main battery modification for an extra 16%, I think it is, but I said, no, I want to be able to aim and shoot. I took damage control over steering. I tried the steering gear modification. I want to reduce fire, so I don't have any heal. And of course, I took the concealment as opposed to steering gear or torpedo lookout systems. I want to get it down as best as possible. Again, the hydro is good for 3.5 kilometers for torpedoes, which is good. A little bit hairy against Swedish boats. They are really fast, but 5 kilometers for ships, which is fantastic. Defensive AA, I'll get to it a bit. And then I've got the most best build. I've got a fighter build out on it. These are the flags I take. Pretty straightforward. And again, no HE, so I don't take any HE spamming flags. Captain skills got Andrew Cunningham. I always take grease to gears. Consumable specialist. I want to get my AA and defensive AA up as quick as possible because you will get hounded by carriers with tier 8. Looking at you, HMS Eagle. Incoming fire alert. I want to know when I need to dodge. Priority target. Again, how many people are looking at me? I take focus fire training. I try to turn my cruisers into as much AA as humanly possible. Superintendent, because I want as much charge, even though Cunningham will give me one if I kill somebody. I like to have as much as possible. No heals, so I take survivability expert to get it up there. And I have concealment expert, and of course, then I have AA and ASW defense, which helps for the AA and for submarines, because you're going to face tier 10 subs. Speaking of AA, let's go look. Here's my favorite ship, the HMS Eagle, the OP, overpowered aircraft carrier, and it is OP. So I put this out. There goes my fighter. She'll turn in, defensive A up, priority sector, see what we can do. Smart move by the bot to go behind the island. This is going to take a little bit of time. Now, as you can see, it does take a bit of time, but in the end, we do shoot down the entire squadron. And he isn't going to drop off, which is fantastic. I'm also maneuvering to make sure he can't. So there we go. That's not too bad. It's not great. It's not bad. So overall, it's a balanced ship. I really like it. I do like the torpedoes to if I'm trying to kite away and defend myself. The guns are very accurate. They do hit hard. They're not fantastic. They're not Des Moines 203s, but any cruiser or whatnot gives you, even tier 10 cruisers give you a broadside. You're going to citadel them, and it does wreck destroyers at close distance. Her major, if I had to say her major weakness, is flat out matchmaking. I've played this boat several missions already, and I've lost every game. I've never won a game in this boat. I can see its potential if it was at its own tier, maybe even tier 9. But when you're playing against super ships and super carriers and submarines, especially tier 10 subs, and getting devastated by an actual HMS Eagle late in the game, or a Satsuma on another game that shot me right across the map, I didn't see him, and I was full health, and then my game was over. That was it. It was gone. And that was within the first 5 minutes of the game. So it's a bit squishy for heavy cruisers. She can't take much damage. I'm always up tiered by 92% of the time, so I would say matchmaking is its greatest vulnerability. Cherry Blossom, the rest of the operations aren't out, so I'm going to wait to see what that happens in the next patch. I'm looking, that's why I got it. The reason why I got it is because it was free to me. I have enough credits for my camos I sold and everything else and some free doubloons, and I got it on the 5th container. So, boom, done. Stop when you're ahead, right? Gambling. Or behind, I guess. Overall, I do like the boat. I see the potential. Tier 6 shall dominate, Tier 7 shall dominate, Tier 8 shall be equal, Tier 9 shall do well. Tier 10 and above, you're going to have your shark bait. That's all you are. So at the end of the day, I like the boat. Would I recommend you spending money to get it? That's up to you. I like certain boats, so I'll spend the money. This was free to me, but see how many credits you have. Maybe you're lucky, maybe you don't. The boat will be available sometime in 2023 to purchase if you want. So it is what it is. But overall, I give the boat a good score. I like it. It is really well balanced. So let me know down below. Are you going to get the Hampshire yourself? Do you want it? Any other questions or anything you want to comment about? But as always, stay safe, take care, and I wish you all the best. So bye for now.